Hi, so let's talk about getting a good solid bar chord with one finger ukulele. There's definitely some things that make bar chords easier or harder. Let's start with the hard. Never, 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 ever, never, ever try to do bar chords if you can see the dots on the front of your neck. If you can see them, that means you're tilting the neck back towards you. And if that is the case, then your hand and wrist and everything has to curve farther around than is natural, and it weakens everything in that structure. You should always have the ukulele straight up and down, perpendicular to the floor, about like that, or even tilted slightly away from you. If you particularly have problems with bar chords, the farther you tilt away, the shorter your wrist has to travel and the more strength you have. So with the one finger ukulele, of course, you have the chords on the side. You only need to look at the side. So get that tilt in a comfortable place, either vertical or slightly tilted away from you. That's number one. Number two, if you are going to use your index finger, which most people will do, feel free to put your middle finger on top of it. Make sure your thumb is pretty much in the center of the back, and that gives you a really good pinching action, okay? So thumb middle of the back, index with the middle on top. You should be able to get a nice clean bar chord that way. Now, don't press any harder than you have to. You want to find the amount of pressure that just gets a clean chord and not go past that, because then your hand will get tired out. So you want to start with just laying your finger on the string so you don't get any notes, you just get thumpy muted strings. And then start pressing slower until you can hear all four strings. And that's as far as you want to go. Now, some people will use their middle finger to bar. It might be easier for you. I have a friend that doesn't have an index finger on his left hand, so he must use his middle. But it might be easier. And in that case, you can do whatever works for you and use two fingers there. To build up strength in your fingers, use this little exercise. You want to just mute the strings, thumb in the back, okay? Press down slowly until you're all the way up against the neck over a period of 4 or 5 seconds. Hold it there and then slowly let up. You want to get that range of muscle contraction and release. Do that 5 or 6 times, let your hand rest. Do that once or twice a day, let your hand rest. The last thing I want to talk about is using different fingers depending on where you are on the neck. I play the first 4 or 5 frets with my index finger and the next few with my middle finger. And when I get up to B flat or B, I'll actually use my ring finger. Now you may not be able to do this at first, but when you're not worried about a really clean sound, do that just as an exercise. Use your index down here, switch to your middle, and switch to your ring finger. What that does is it shortens the distance that you have to move between the lower chords and the upper chords. If you're playing a D down here, then you have to go to B flat and you're using your index finger. You got to come all the way up here to where your hand is getting pinched up against the body. But if you're using your ring finger up there, look how much room I have. So anyway, there you go. Those are the techniques for using a bar chord. Build up your strength and keep on plugging along at this. It'll be worth the effort. Talk to you soon.